They're buying up the islands and the mountains far away, digging deep beneath the surface for a dark and distant day. Private roads and private armies, private skies and private seas, selling us the apocalypse, then locking up the keys. Welcome to the billionaire bunker, where the chosen waited out, filtered air and hydroponics, while the world outside goes south. They got doctors made of circuits, they got gardens underground. When the judgment finally comes, they won't be hanging around.
On the Hawaiian island of Kauai, Mark Zuckerberg is constructing a private compound spanning over 1,400 acres. It's a property larger than many small towns, situated on one of the most remote landmasses on Earth. Kauai's primary defense is vertical. Sheer volcanic cliffs create an immense natural barrier, making the island's interior nearly impossible to approach from the coast. But the most revealing details are subterranean. Leaked blueprints for the property detail a 5,000 square foot underground bunker. Access is sealed by concrete-filled blast doors, and the construction crews building it are bound by intensely strict non-disclosure agreements. It's an interesting pivot for a CEO whose public brand and fortune are built on the promise of connecting the globe and fostering open communities. Public relations statements dictate a narrative, but capital expenditure dictates true belief. Sinking hundreds of millions of dollars into a subterranean Doomsday fortress reveals a quiet reality. The architects of our digital future are spending a fortune to hide from it. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, openly admits to keeping a stash of Israeli military gas masks, gold, and a remote patch of land in Big Sur ready for a quick exit. Peter Thiel took the strategy international, securing citizenship in New Zealand and purchasing estates across South America, effectively collecting geographic escape routes. This is an industry-wide consensus. According to insiders, more than 50% of Silicon Valley billionaires have quietly acquired what they call apocalypse insurance. These are the individuals sitting on the largest troves of behavioral and economic data in human history. They model trends and map the trajectory of technology for a living. Based on what they see, they are placing a calculated financial bet that the current social order is going to fracture. Surviving a catastrophe is no longer the domain of fringe preppers stockpiling canned beans in the woods. Disaster preparedness is now a booming commercial sector, marketed to ultra-high net worth individuals as a premier real estate asset. In places like Florida's Indian Creek, elites are utilizing a buffer zone strategy. They buy up multiple adjacent properties to establish heavily controlled perimeters, relying on the surrounding water to act as a natural moat against the mainland. On an international scale, New Zealand has become the ultimate safe haven. It offers stable politics and thousands of miles of ocean between its defensible valleys and the world's major conflict zones. Wealth used to be displayed through visibility, a penthouse in the center of a crowded city. Today, the ultimate marker of status is the ability to completely and physically disconnect from the rest of the population. To achieve total physical disconnection, private developers are buying up decommissioned Cold War military infrastructure and retrofitting deep earth missile silos into luxury subterranean communities. This 3D schematic shows the anatomy of one of these converted silos. You have an outer shell of 9-foot-thick epoxy-hardened concrete, heavy blast doors, biometric man-traps, and mechanical intake systems designed to scrub biological and nuclear contaminants from the air. But as we pull back the structural layers, the interior looks more like a 5-star resort. To sustain human life underground for years, these facilities are outfitted with hydroponic farms, full surgical medical bays, indoor swimming pools, and digital screens simulating natural window light. Compare that to the cramped cinder block fallout shelters families built in their backyards during the 1950s. These facilities function as fully autonomous, multi-year ecosystems, engineered to sustain human life long after the surface becomes uninhabitable. In the private circles of the ultra-wealthy, the scenario they are preparing for is simply referred to as the event. It is a catch-all term for systemic collapse, whether triggered by a climate disaster, mass social unrest, or a runaway artificial intelligence. This animated loop illustrates what we can call the insulation equation. As individuals extract massive amounts of wealth from society, that extraction fuels systemic instability. That growing instability then drives those same individuals to buy even more extreme forms of physical isolation. As the instability sphere fractures, it reveals a specific set of threats: algorithmic unrest, wealth polarization, and mass job displacement. These are the direct results of the tech platforms and economies these individuals optimized for profit. They are hiding from their own balance sheets. They are pouring billions of dollars into a vehicle, hoping it can drive fast enough to escape its own toxic exhaust. But there is a fatal logistical flaw in this survival fantasy. No matter how thick the concrete is, a complex bunker requires maintenance staff, doctors, and armed guards to function. If the economy collapses, the legal system dissolves, and the money in your bank account is suddenly worthless paper, how does a billionaire maintain authority over the people holding the guns and the access codes to the food supply? Behind closed doors, the elite have brainstormed solutions to this dilemma. Their ideas range from forcing their guards to wear disciplinary shock collars to rushing the development of autonomous robotic security forces before the collapse actually hits. May possess the capital and influence to fortify public infrastructure and prevent a crisis from happening in the first place. Instead, they have accepted the collapse as inevitable, buying the ultimate luxury ticket just to ensure they have a comfortable seat while they watch it burn.
They sold us the apocalypse, then bought the only key.